Welcome to the Altadena Library's Page to Table program. My name is Paulina, and I'll be making a traditional Filipino dessert called Dila from my region in the Philippines. Okay, so the main ingredients for the Dila are fresh coconut, brown coconut, sugar, and rice glutinous flour. So the first thing we need to do with our fresh coconut is to clean it up a little. I'm gonna take off all this debris here because you don't want to put it, you don't want it to get into this debris into the grated coconut when we grate it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this part off because you don't want to poke yourself when you're grating it, and so I just want to clean it up a little. Alright, next what we want to do is cut the coconut in half. We want to drain the coconut juice in a bowl, but with a strainer. So again, some of the debris from the coconut might come, so the strainer is there to separate the debris from the coconut juice. And just a warning, you have to be very careful on doing this, that you don't cut yourself. I use my hand, but certainly you can use a cutting board if you choose. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're ready to grate the coconut. So we cleaned it out with a paper towel, just cleaned out the debris from the coconut shell. And this is my tool in which we grate it. This is the traditional way that Filipinos grate their coconut. And in my dialect, it's called, this is the gad-gad tool. So basically it's a stool with a serrated blade that will grate the coconut. And so what you do is you set it down like this, and you have to be flexible, and you have a bowl to collect the grated coconut once it's grated. So you take it with the palm of your hand like this, and then you're gonna go rounding off like this back and forth so you'll grate. You be careful that you don't slip your hand off of the coconut, because then you will cut yourself. Okay, so you're gonna go down, and this is how you shred your coconut. Now This can be very tedious, but fresh coconut, fresh of anything is always the best. But if you choose to skip this part, you can just go to the grocery store and get sweetened coconut flakes if you choose to, or unsweetened. It's your choice. So you keep grating and you kind of rotate the coconut half so that you can continue to get the flesh out of the coconut. So there is your grated coconut. So you keep going until you get to the brown part of the coconut. So I've grated the coconut, the two halves, and they should look like this. You don't want to get too, you don't want to grate it so far to where you get the brown, to the brown area, because then you'll your coconut will turn brown. So I stop right before I get into it. So this is how much you can probably get out of one coconut, two halves. Okay. Now we're ready to make the dough for the Dila. But before that, go ahead and get a stock pot like this, and you want to fill it up with 3/4 of water, and go ahead and heat it up, and we'll wait for it to boil. Now while the water is heating up to boil, we can go ahead and start with the dough. So I'm going to take my glutinous rice flour. I'm going to go ahead and pour the whole thing in this bowl. Okay. And I'm going to put like dig a little hole there. And remember our coconut juice from our dried coconut. So I'm gonna see how we strained it. There's the coconut juice or the liquid, and I'm going to use this. Most recipes just discard the coconut juice, but I like to use it. I like to use everything as much as possible if I can. So I'm just going to slowly stir it in, the coconut liquid, coconut juice. And still again straining it because of all the debris from the coconut shell. So you're going to continue to stir. Now it's getting pasty. The goal is you want to keep stirring and adding liquid until the dough comes off from the sides of the bowl, when it's no longer sticking and it holds to itself. So I have extra water here because I don't have any more coconut liquid from the fresh coconut. So just keep going, keep mixing until you can firm it into a round ball. Okay, so the dough is ready to cook into the boiling water. Okay, we're ready to go ahead and make the dough or put it into the boiling water. So just take a handful of the dough, and you want it to make little, we're gonna roll it, and then we're just gonna pat it, and we're gonna make an oval shape, just like this. Whoops. Let's do it again. And then we're gonna drop it in. Okay, slowly. So just keep getting some of the dough. Drop it in. And you'll know when they're done when they begin to float up. And when they remain floating on the top, then it's time to remove. So they're starting to float. So you can either use a tongue or a slotted spoon like this so that the water will drain. And then you just put it in a plate to cool off. You see, it's very hot right now. So try to get off as much of the water out before plating it on the plate here, and then just repeat the process until all the dough is cooked. Okay, and make sure that they don't touch each other because they will stick on the plate, so keep them separated. Now we're ready to put the Dila with the fresh coconut, grated fresh coconut. So the cooked Dila is already room temperature. So you just take it, it's kind of sticky, and just dump it into the coconut, grated coconut, and make sure it's coated, and then set it aside on the platter. So just keep repeating this until you have it all. So we're done. We have the Dila coated with the fresh grated coconut, and this is how I'm going to show you now how to eat it. So just take a plate, and the way I was taught how to cook and eat this is that we just use regular sugar, and so what you do is just sprinkle how much sugar you want on your Dila pieces, and then you're ready to eat it. Thank you for joining me, and the Altadena libraries as I share a little bit of my culture in making this Filipino dessert called Dila. Enjoy.